All right, today we are diving into a really powerful idea, one that might just change how you look at, well, everything. We're talking about the core insight from the book, The Courage to be Disliked, a kind of blueprint for real, total emotional freedom. So, I want to start with a question, and just let this one sink in for a second. What if the biggest, most inescapable prison you've ever known wasn't made of steel bars or stone walls? What if that prison is built brick by brick out of the fear of what other people think about you? You know, that constant low-level anxiety about being judged, about needing approval, about just fitting in? This is the big challenge the book asks us to face head-on.
And the answer it gives us is just as radical as the problem itself. Here's the fundamental truth. Happiness isn't something you just stumble upon or something that happens to you. Nope. It's a choice, an active choice you have to make, day in and day out.
So where do we even begin with a change that big? Well, the first major mental shift is all about completely rethinking your relationship with your own past. The idea is that your past isn't some fixed thing. It's a story, and you're the one holding the pen.
Now here's a really important distinction. It's not the actual events from your past that are holding you back right now, it's the story you keep telling yourself about those events. That narrative you have on repeat, that's where all the power is.
The authors just put it so perfectly here. Your life is not determined by what happened, but by how you interpret what happened. Now let's be clear, this isn't about denying that pain is real, it absolutely is. But being trapped by that pain forever, letting it dictate your entire life, that, according to this philosophy, is a choice.
And this breaks it down so well. Over on the left, you've got the objective facts, what happened. That stuff is in the past, it's done. But on the right, you have the meaning you give to it, and that is 100% in your control. This is where you take your power back.
This brings us to the second pillar, and wow, this is a big one for pretty much everyone. Stop chasing approval. The key here is learning how to figure out what the book calls your own tasks.
You know, it seems like it should be the other way around, right? We think getting that validation, that pat on the back, makes us feel strong. But the book argues it's the exact opposite. When you live your life based on what others will think, you actually become a slave to their whims, and you give away your own freedom and strength.
So what is your task? It's basically everything that you directly control. Your actions, your choices, how you live your life. Now, how other people feel about all that, whether they cheer you on or criticize you, that's their task. It's got nothing to do with you. The moment you truly separate those two things, that's when you start to feel free.
And that idea flows perfectly into the third big insight, getting away from the poison of comparison. This is all about shifting your focus from a life of competition against others to a life of personal progress.
This is so freeing when you really get it. Your worth isn't some kind of ranking. It doesn't go up just because someone else fails, and it doesn't drop when someone else succeeds. Your value is just your value. You don't have to win. All you have to do is focus on being a little better today than you were yesterday.
I mean, just look at what a life of comparison creates. It's a formula for being unhappy. It breeds jealousy of people you think are ahead of you and arrogance toward people you think are behind. It's just a constant state of misery. And you know what it will never, ever give you? Peace.
Okay, this brings us to the final massive idea that really ties this all together. It's about finding freedom through taking on radical responsibility. This is what it means to be truly untouchable by what other people think. This next part completely flips our whole idea of freedom on its head. We usually think of freedom as, having no rules and doing whatever you feel like. But this philosophy says that real freedom is something inside you. It's the power you have to choose how you respond to anything life throws at you.
And here it is. This is the payoff. When you stop blaming your past for your present, when you stop looking outside for validation, and when you stop measuring yourself against others, you are finally taking full ownership. And in that exact moment, you become untouchable. You're truly free. So let's boil it all down. What does this really mean for you right now? It means you don't need anyone's permission to live the life you want to live.
And you absolutely do not need their validation to know that you are worthy.
But look, none of this is easy. It's not the path of least resistance. It takes one thing, one really important ingredient. It takes courage.
The courage to be disliked. The courage to stand on your own 2 feet and accept that not everyone is going to like you or approve of you. And to know, in your bones, that that's okay.
So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. Ask yourself, honestly, what would you do, who would you be if you weren't afraid of what other people might think? The answer to that question, that might be the very beginning